Hey guys, my name is Emma. Um, my dad was telling me that a few of you have been asking about me and how I've been getting on since finding out certain things about the witnesses. Just to give you a bit of a backstory on myself, I grew up as a witness. Um, my dad, he was an elder in the congregation. Used to be the only elder in the Pahiatua congregation for quite some time. Um, I got baptised at 12 years old, and then a few years later, after going into high school, I started making friends down in Upper Hutt and decided to go along to their church, and I started exploring different other places and figuring out life, because growing up in a certain way and not really knowing much about the outside world, I thought, well, check it out. But anyway, so over time I became inactive because I wasn't really doing anything. I studied music, which I loved, and then I went down to Gore and I got pregnant. And in that time of me being pregnant, that's when I was like, oh, I need to figure out what I'm going to do, because I've got a child on the way and I need to seriously think about my life. So that's when I started looking back into the witnesses, and I wanted to study. But that never happened because of the certain living situation that I was in, living with Kirk, and I had how old was he at the time? Basically a newborn baby. No, he was 1, I think. Yeah, he just turned 1. So I decided that I wanted to give it a go. But because of my living situation and everything like that, I was then disfellowshipped. And at that point, like just before that, I had just ended things with my son's father, and I was basically all alone down in Gore. I had nobody. I didn't have many friends down there, and then the witnesses, they weren't talking to me, of course, because I was disfellowshipped. And so I tried so hard to get myself reinstated for when I moved back up to Palmerston North. And then that didn't happen, but I moved back up to Palmerston North anyway. And then a few years went by because I didn't go back to the meetings. I decided to give it a good shot, because this whole, do I want the witnesses, do I not, that kind of lifestyle was still overshadowing me and my everyday decisions. It hindered me in a lot of things that I tried to do, because I'd do it and then it would hold me back. So I gave it a shot. They wouldn't study with me, but I got reinstated, despite them knowing some other things, but that's okay. So I got reinstated and I decided to give it my best shot. Not long after me being reinstated, about half a year after I was reinstated, I had a girl come live with me. She was a sister that had just come over from Mexico, and she was living with me for the past year and a bit, which helped me focus, and because I didn't want to stumble her from what she wanted to do, so it helped me get focus. I then was doing a regular study in the God's Love book, which was good. It helped me with some of my personal stuff, which was really cool. However, I would always get stuck on like the disfellowshipping side of things. And in that book, it talks about it being a blessing and you feel better and all that stuff. But I still have some kind of resentment for the reasons why they disfellowshipped me, especially when it was trying so hard and I was all by myself down in Gore. So it was the worst thing that they could have ever done. I had spiraled into a depression, and it was terrible. Just don't want to go back there. So yeah, some of the things over the past 2 years, so I've been reinstated for about 2 years on June the 30th this year. and now it is the middle of August. So was reinstated about then, and then for about a month and a half I've barely been going to the meetings. Kaylee had left and I just started doing my own thing. I had maybe gone to 2 meetings in the past a little bit from being sick and working and things like that. But some of the teachings that was going on were a bit confusing. For example, one of the scriptures saying there will be a resurrection of the good and the bad, yet some of the teachings in the Kingdom Rules book, the purple book, talking about the judgment before then, and then a resurrection of the righteous, which didn't line up, and it continually not made sense. There was a few other things, not that I can really remember right now, but yeah, so that's where I'm at in terms of being a witness, I guess. For over a year now, I've been trying to figure out why my dad, after bringing us up, me and my brother, up in the truth, then left and never came back. It would always confuse me because he was an elder, so obviously he knew better, and the reasons why, I don't know, it always confused me. So I always wanted to know why he got baptized, why, what was the other question? Well, I can't remember. But after finding out a few things from when we were in Pahiatua and the things that Dad found out being an elder in Pahiatua, I asked him, why didn't you stop me from getting baptized then? I found out that Dad wasn't prepared for that that question, which is okay. I guess you can't prepare for every scenario. I've just realised I said a whole lot of ums. I'm sorry. It's a little bit strange for me doing this whole video diary. It's my first one. I decided to give it a go because Dad was telling me that people were interested to see how I was going on. So I thought creating this video diary will help me sort through a whole bunch of the issues that I will be able to sort through now. Now where was I? Oh, I can't remember. But about a week ago, I think, I managed to finally get answers out of my dad. And they were mind-blowing. To find out that 26 years of your life, your whole childhood, the way that you were brought up and things like that, was not actually the way that it should have been. Your whole childhood was a lie. And finding out all these things that you wouldn't think that the organisation is capable of. You think that I did, and I'm sure, my dad and maybe a few others thought that the organisation wasn't capable of having shares in things that we shouldn't even be partaking in. As you know, witnesses don't participate in war, smoking, they don't watch porn, there's a few other things that I can't think of right now, but finding out that they have stocks and shares in companies that make weapons of mass destruction, that make smokes, that is heavily involved in the porn industry, and also thinking back to my study that I was in the God Love book. It was about the workplaces and things, and we went over the fact that we don't want to, like being a cleaner is fine, but cleaning at an army camp, you're not participating in the war, but you're supporting them. Now that's a no-no. Now, yes, you're not participating in the war, but you're participating in it when you've got shares and stocks in companies that make weapons of mass destruction. So after finding out all of these things, it just baffled me, knowing that I was part of an organisation that is so hypocritical to its roots, and that not many of the members know about this is horrendous. The amount of lives that are being misled from all of this. It's crazy. Yeah. The other issue that I've now run into, because I've decided that I don't want to be part of the witnesses. I don't want to be a part of the Watchtower organization, because I don't like lies. Personally, I don't like lies, and I don't like hypocrisy. I don't like people being I don't like people being hypocritical. So to be a part of an organization that has that down in its roots, I can't be part of that. And so I have written a letter. I got my dad's help just to read over it to see what I've missed and what I should add in and things like that. But yeah, I've signed my letter and I've just got to hand it in. First, I need to finish off the letter that I'll send to my mum, because I think it's only fair that I let her know before the elders tell her. But yeah, it's really interesting to, after all these years, now going forward with my future, I won't have the whole witness decision looming over my head. It won't hinder me as much anymore. Yes, there are a lot of things that I need to process, because I barely have time to process them. But going forward, I should say, this year is going to be a pretty darn good year. I'll be able to understand myself and understand life a little bit better, and just improve my life and the quality of life. It'll be so good. So that's the end of my first video. If you have any questions, please ask, because there are so many things that I need to process and so many things that I can't even think of, that some of you guys might be able to help me. But yeah, here's to the new me, 2018, 26, will be 27 next year, so apparently 26 is the year to live. Anyway, bye for now.